Hello, I'm Helen Cummins and I'm here today with Eveline Rossi from Rossi Interiors. Eveline, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me here, Helen.
Pleasure. Will you tell us a little bit about your lifestyle? You have an enviable lifestyle, I think.
My lifestyle? That's a difficult question. No, we live in Switzerland, near the Lake of Constance, and we have a house here in Santa Ponsa. And we tend to spend 4 to 5 months here on the island. So I'm taking our work from Switzerland here to the island, so backwards and forwards.
So you live between both places?
Both places. We tend to spend 4 to 5 weeks here, and then we go back to Switzerland, maybe 2 months in Switzerland, and then come back here, depending on the projects.
It sounds wonderful. In practice, does it work?
Yes, it works. As you know, Helen, I'm very organized. I plan everything. So for me, it's also a good chance to clean up my fridge as well. So every time I know we're leaving Switzerland to be here for 5 or 6 weeks, I clean up the fridge, everything is cleaned. I do all the housekeeping, so everything's perfect. And when I come to Mallorca, I did the same when I left Mallorca. So I come here and the house is just immaculate, and I can start my daily routines as if I didn't travel.
Wow. So you did tell me that you have kind of duplicate machinery in your kitchen, and you have a Thermomix in Mallorca and you have a Thermomix in Switzerland, because you and your husband Piero, you like to cook a lot. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So how do you manage all of that because you also are a person who really promotes this idea of zero waste?
Exactly, yes. Obviously I need my duplicate machines. I really can't be without those machines, because when we leave one of the houses, then the fridge has to be obviously all cleaned up. So then I have leftover carrots or cabbage or other things. And then I don't want to, I could put them on the compost, which I do. I have one here and in Switzerland where I can put all that in there. But I also find I can make a stock, or maybe a vegetable paste, or maybe a curry. So I'll put whatever I find in the fridge that I don't want to throw away, I'll bung it in the Thermomix and let him do his work, and then I can seal it in a jar or put it in the freezer. And when the next time I come back, I already have homemade stock. So that's the sort of thing. That's why I need all those machines in both places. Yeah.
You're very successful on Instagram. It's one of the I love following your adventures, and you do regular videos about different topics. For somebody who's interested to follow your account, what can they expect?
Well, I think if they follow my Instagram account, they will get all sorts of tips of home decorating. And for me, decorating a home, it's not just about decorating home, it's a whole lifestyle. So you'll get like tips and trends of how to decorate what's in season, then obviously cooking tips. So if like now we have figs and grapes, what can you do with those things? Then what cookbooks are a good tip or are very useful. And then of course interior design tips as such, how to maybe do's and don'ts of interior design. And then
so a lot of inspiration really for general living, but you're also very focused on sustainability, right?
Yes,
that's a big part.
It's something very, very important for me, sustainability. I think we should sort of like look after our planet much more than we are doing. And I don't want to be one of these people that go protesting with a sign saying, don't do this, don't do that. I think my message is, you can do this or you can do that, and use less plastic, eat less meat. I don't say don't eat any meat and don't use plastic anymore, but there are lots of things you can do, and I think I'm just giving ideas and tips of how we can reduce.
You brought along a couple of ideas here. Can you tell us
yes,
what did you?
Yes, for me, we've already talked about zero waste. So, for example, I've made some bread, and I've got some leftover bread. Then I will make breadcrumbs, which are here. And then the other thing is, if you have other leftovers, although I try to cook really that there are no leftovers, but every now and then there are leftovers. And then most people, they sort of like get a dish or a plastic kind of container, Tupperware or whatever, and then they put it in there and with foil or cling film and in the fridge. Whenever I buy a jar, say, of olives or asparagus or chickpeas, then I have a spare jar. So I never throw away my jars. I have jars in all sizes.
Right.
So whenever I have a little bit left over, I put it in one of these jars, seal it, and it'll keep fresh in here. And like here now, I made my breadcrumbs. I put it in a jar, and it'll last for months. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with this idea. Tell me more. I think this is incredible.
These are my wax cloths, and it's something that we used to do. I mean, my grandmother used to make these. It's just beeswax that I melt, and just any kind of cotton or linen. And you get some paper and an iron. I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but it's now sort of like.
For example, you have it on.
I have
your
a video. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube, and then on Instagram you can see how I make it. And the thing is, they're sort of like crushable. And then if you have a jar or a plate or something, you can just put it over there.
Fantastic.
Just put it there, and then if it doesn't stick, you can also still put like a rubber band over it, and then get a plate of pasta or something like that, pop that over, and it'll stay fresh.
So it's instead of using
aluminium foil or cling film,
which would be great.
and then you can just wipe it with a damp cloth and reuse it.
Wow, fantastic idea.
And it looks prettier than aluminium foil.
It looks so much nicer than aluminium. Mm-hmm. You've traveled the world extensively over the last years. Where have you found paradise? Have you found a place in
Mallorca?
Yeah, exactly.
Mallorca.
We're a little bit biased, but I agree with you there. No. But other than Mallorca, where have you traveled to that really stands out in your mind as a must-visit place?
I mean, for me, I've been traveling to Oman since I was 30. It's for me just an amazing country, amazing people. And then, of course, Mexico. Those are my two favorite countries. Yes.
And here in Mallorca, what are your favorite places that you love to visit?
Well, it's a bit difficult. Yeah, places like Cala Figuera, the nice little fisher villages, those kind of places I like, and Palma. I mean, I always like to go to Palma.
And hotel on the island? What's your favorite hotel on the island?
My favorite hotel, I would say, is the La Residencia.
La Residencia in Deia, which is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And restaurants? There's so many good ones.
There's so many good ones, and to be sort of like specific about a certain restaurant, it's very difficult because it kind of depends, what mood I'm in and what's the occasion. But
which restaurant do you always visit when you're on the island?
We always go to the Ombu in Palma.
Ombu, okay. It's a beautiful tapas restaurant, right?
Yes.
On Plaza Reina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice.
Because you can do some people watching, you get a feel, we get a little bit the holiday feeling because many people think, oh, she's in Mallorca again, she's on holiday again. I'm not.
You're working.
I'm working. But still, you'd like to have a little holiday feeling. So to go to the Ombu and the Plaza Reina, you can see all the people coming looking for their Airbnb with their little suitcases, and then you have the nice tapas. Then I get a little holiday feeling.
Brilliant. So Eveline, you travel extensively, and yet you're here in Mallorca. Why did you choose Mallorca?
I find Mallorca, because it is an island, more interesting from the temperature, from the climate, and also because it's so international. I mean, we have the Spanish, which I really love, but then you have British, you have Irish, you have Swedish, you have the Swiss, you have everything here. So our friends here, it's all sort of international, which I like a lot.
Very good. I mean, that is one of the big factors about Mallorca. It's so cosmopolitan. And you have your casita in Santa Ponsa? Why did you choose Santa Ponsa?
Well, first we sort of rented other apartments
In different locations.
In different locations. We were in Port Sawyer and in Port Antras, and then we went to Santa Ponsa. We rented something there, and we just fell in love with Santa Ponsa because Santa Ponsa is a place, it doesn't, how do you say, well, not die, but it's even in the winter, there's always something going on, and you just have the whole infrastructure. You don't have to go into Palma. You will find everything in Santa Ponsa.
And you live where you live is right. It's very close to the golf course,
Yes.
so you can really integrate that in your lifestyle. Right?
Yes, yes, exactly. That was one of the reasons. Also, we said we're not really keen golf players, but when we do go out to play golf, we don't want to sit in the car and to go and play golf. So we can just literally walk out, like we did this week, to get our work-life balance a little bit back on track. So first go out in the morning, play a round of golf, then come back into the office and work. So that's was very interesting for us, the golf.
Any points that you would like to change about Santa Ponsa?
I don't want to change anything in Santa Ponsa. I would prefer it to stay as it is, because it's still also very Spanish, and it's not sort of very German or very British or very Swedish or Scandinavian. It's a very nice mixture, and lots of Spanish people always mingle on the beach and in the restaurant. So you have a very nice mix. So I would like that Santa Ponsa to contain this.
Stay the same.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you. Eveline, thank you so much for joining us. It's too short because, of course, we would love to hear a lot more of your tips. So if you are interested in hearing more about what Eveline is doing, then log on to Instagram and follow Eveline and her adventures and lots of tips. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Helen.